Ah, look who's still standing. Hello to the ones they tried to erase, the names they attempted to bury, the souls they swore would never recover. Hello to you. The impossible equation they couldn't solve, the variable that broke their entire system. They had everything, didn't they? They had lawyers with briefcases full of threats, connections that could make phone calls and end careers, a whole network of people willing to lie for them, resources you couldn't even imagine, and a plan so calculated they thought it was foolproof. And what did you have? Nothing but that one move, that one moment, that one decision that flipped the entire board and made them destroy themselves trying to stop you. Let's talk about what really happened here. Because the truth is so much darker and so much more beautiful than anyone wants to admit. They didn't just want to beat you. They wanted to delete you from existence, to make it so that when people searched for your name, nothing would come up. They wanted you erased from memory, scrubbed from the record, like you never existed at all, like you were just a bad dream they could wake up from. They assembled their entire arsenal, their lawyers drafting documents, their connections making calls, their network spreading stories, all designed to make you disappear. And here's the part that's going to sting them forever. In trying to destroy you, they exposed every single crack in their own foundation, every lie they'd built their empire on, every weakness they'd hidden behind money and influence. You see, they made a critical miscalculation, one that people drunk on power always make. They assumed you would fight them on their terms, in their courts, by their rules, using their language. They thought you'd panic, scramble, beg for mercy, hire your own lawyers, and try to match them resource for resource. They were ready for that fight. They had prepared for that war. They had strategies and backup plans and contingencies. But you did something they never saw coming. Something so simple and so devastating that it short-circuited their entire operation. You didn't fight back. You didn't defend yourself. You didn't try to match their energy or meet them in their arena. You just existed, loudly, honestly, transparently, and let them destroy themselves in their desperation to stop you. That move, that refusal to play their game, it was surgical precision disguised as surrender. While they were spending hundreds of thousands building cases, you were building something they couldn't touch, truth. While they were coordinating attacks through their network, you were creating something they couldn't corrupt, authenticity. While their lawyers were drafting threats, you were living your life so openly, so undeniably, so documented, that every lie they told about you could be fact-checked in real time. And slowly, painfully, publicly, their entire structure began to collapse under the weight of its own deception. Their connections started distancing themselves, not wanting to be associated with such obvious desperation. Their network began to fracture as people realized they'd been weaponized for a war against someone who wasn't even fighting back. Here's what they didn't understand about power. Real power doesn't need defense. Real power doesn't need lawyers or connections or networks or resources, because real power is simply the ability to exist as yourself while others exhaust themselves trying to make you something else. They had institutional power, the kind that looks impressive on paper, the kind that makes people afraid, the kind that usually works. But you had something far more terrifying. You had nothing left to lose. Nothing left to hide, nothing left to protect, and a person with nothing to lose is the most dangerous opponent in any arena, because they can't be threatened, they can't be bought, They can't be controlled. All you had to do was stand there and be exactly who you were, and their entire empire crumbled trying to knock you down. Let me paint you a picture of what was happening behind the scenes while you were living your life. Their lawyers were in conference rooms, burning midnight oil, drafting and redrafting strategies, trying to find an angle that would stick. Their connections were on phone calls, carefully wording their concerns, trying to mobilize support without seeming too desperate. Their network was in group chats, coordinating stories, making sure everyone had the same talking points. And the entire damn time, you were just posting your truth, living your days, showing up as yourself. And every single time they launched an attack, every single time they tried a new strategy, every single time they thought they had you cornered, your simple existence dismantled it. Not because you were fighting, but because the truth doesn't need a defense strategy. Now let's talk about the specific moment when you made that move, when you did that thing that changed everything. Maybe you don't even remember it as significant. Maybe to you it was just another day, another decision, another step forward. But to them it was the earthquake that brought down their tower. Maybe you decided to speak publicly about something they wanted, kept quiet, not in anger or revenge, but simply as your truth. Maybe you walked away from a situation they expected you to cling to, taking your dignity with you when they thought you'd beg to stay. Maybe you built something new when they thought they destroyed your ability to create. Maybe you forgave them publicly when they expected you to fight back, disarming their entire victim narrative. Whatever that move was, it had one thing in common. It was authentic. And authenticity is kryptonite to people who live behind masks. The lawyers started seeing it first, the way their case was built on quicksand. Every deposition revealed more inconsistencies in the other side's story. Every document they produced had timestamps that didn't match up. Every witness they called contradicted the previous one. The lawyers, professionals who'd done this 1,000 times, started getting that look in their eyes, that recognition that they were on the wrong side of truth and no amount of legal maneuvering was going to change physics. Some of them started quietly recommending settlement, suggesting maybe this wasn't the fight to pick. Others just started returning calls slower, billing fewer hours, finding reasons to step back. Because lawyers might be mercenaries, but even mercenaries know when they're being asked to defend the indefensible. And most of them aren't willing to stake their reputation on a losing battle against someone who isn't even fighting back. The connections, those powerful friends who could make things happen, they were next to start backing away. At first they were all in, making their calls, pulling their strings, using their influence to try to corner you. But then something started happening that people with real power understand immediately. They started looking foolish. Because what does it say about you when you need to mobilize your entire network to stop one person who's just living their life? What does it say about your story when everyone you call starts asking questions instead of just helping? What does it say about your character when people with real discernment start seeing through your narrative? So one by one, these connections started getting too busy to help, started having conflicts of interest, started suggesting maybe there were two sides to this story. Not because they suddenly became good people, but because they're allergic to association with public failure, and you were making them all look desperate. The network, that beautiful web of people who would say whatever they were told to say, that started imploding in the most spectacular way. Because here's the thing about networks built on manipulation. They're only as strong as the benefits they provide, and you made association with them toxic. People started getting asked questions, started having to explain why they were so invested in destroying someone who never did anything to them. The inconsistencies in the stories became glaring. The coordinated attacks became obvious. The desperation started smelling like guilt. And slowly, members of that network started doing something they never expected to do. They started deleting their own posts, walking back their own statements, quietly distancing themselves from the campaign. Not because you threatened them, not because you fought back, but because being associated with that level of desperate dishonesty was damaging their own credibility. Here's where it gets truly beautiful, in that dark, poetic justice kind of way. Every weapon they used against you became a boomerang. Every lie they spread got fact-checked and exposed, making them look worse. Every legal threat they made got documented, proving harassment. Every connection they tried to weaponize started asking them uncomfortable questions. Every member of their network who attacked you publicly now has a permanent record of their participation in targeted destruction. They built a prison for you and ended up locking themselves inside it. Because when you fight someone who's telling the truth by telling lies, you're building your own gallows. And the whole world watched you refuse to build anything in return, refuse to retaliate, refuse to sink to their level. And that restraint made you look like steel while they looked like rage. Let's get real about what deleting themselves actually means. Because it's not metaphorical and it's not gentle. Some of them literally deleted their social media after their attacks on you got ratioed into oblivion. Some of them deleted their credibility by being caught in such obvious lies that nobody can take them seriously anymore. Some of them deleted their reputations by going so hard after someone who didn't deserve it that now they're known for that forever. Some of them deleted their businesses because the public backlash was too severe. Some of them deleted their relationships because good people started seeing who they really were. Some of them deleted their mental peace because they can't escape what they did and how badly it backfired. And all of it, every single deletion, happened because they couldn't leave you alone, couldn't let you exist, couldn't handle that you were moving on without them. You want to know the real knife twist? The part that's going to haunt them through every sleepless night for the rest of their lives? You're doing better now than you ever were before. That move you made, that thing that triggered their entire assault, it didn't just save you, it launched you. While they were busy trying to destroy you, you were busy becoming indestructible. While they were coordinating attacks, you were building something beautiful. While they were burning resources and relationships and reputation trying to stop you, you were growing in ways they can't measure and don't understand. And now you're untouchable. Not because you're protected by lawyers or connections or networks, but because you've already survived their worst and came out refined. What can they possibly do to you now that they didn't already try? What fear can they invoke when you've already faced their entire arsenal and won by simply existing? The lawyers see it now, looking at their files, looking at their billable hours, looking at the outcome, all that work, all that strategy, all that expensive expertise, and they achieved nothing except making their client look obsessed. The connections see it now, quietly removing themselves from group chats, pretending they were never that involved, hoping nobody remembers the calls they made. They protected their own reputation by abandoning ship, and now your opponent is alone, realizing that money can't buy loyalty when the cause is indefensible. The network sees it now. Those who participated in the attacks quietly deleting evidence, changing their stories, hoping the internet forgets. But the internet never forgets, and neither do you. And neither does anyone who watched this play out. They're all living in the shadow of their own actions now, and that shadow is long and cold and permanent. Here's what nobody tells you about winning against institutional power. It doesn't feel like winning at first. It feels like drowning when you made that move, when you did that thing that triggered their response. It probably felt terrifying. The lawyer's letters arrived, and your hands shook. The connections started making calls, and you felt walls closing in. The network began their campaign, and you watched lies spread faster than truth. In those moments, you probably wondered if you made a mistake, if you should have stayed quiet, if you should have played their game. And that's exactly when you needed to trust that your move was right. Even when it looked like you were losing. Even when they seemed unstoppable. Even when everyone was telling you to give up. Because the thing about truth is it works on a different timeline than lies. It moves slower, but it moves permanent. And all you had to do was survive long enough for it to arrive. They're studying you now in ways they don't want to admit. In quiet moments, in private thoughts, they're trying to understand how you did it, how you survived what was designed to destroy you. They're analyzing that move, that decision, that moment when you should have broken but didn't, and they can't figure it out because they're looking for a trick, a strategy, a technique, when the answer is so much simpler and so much more terrifying to people like them. You were just yourself. You told the truth. You didn't need their approval or fear their disapproval. That's not a strategy they can counter because it's not a strategy at all. It's integrity. And integrity is invisible to people who've spent their lives playing games. They're trying to reverse engineer authenticity, and it's like trying to fake genuine laughter. Everyone can tell it's not real. Let me tell you what you look like to them now. Because perspective matters. And you should know the view from their side. You look like a ghost that won't die. A problem that won't solve. A story that won't end the way they wrote it. You look like their biggest failure, the one that got away, the battle they lost despite having every advantage. You look like evidence of their impotence, proof that money and connections and networks can't beat simple truth. You look like a warning to others. Don't try what they tried. Don't go after someone like that. Don't make the same mistake. And most of all, most painfully, most unforgivably, you look happy. You look like you've moved on. Like you're thriving, like their entire assault was just a minor inconvenience in your story. And that might be the most devastating thing of all. We need to talk about the specific anatomy of their self-deletion, because it's important to understand how comprehensive their failure was. Financially, they hemorrhaged resources on a battle they couldn't win. Money that could have built something now gone to lawyers and PR and damage control. Socially, they burned bridges with people who saw what they were doing and wanted no part of it. Isolation they created through their own actions. Professionally, they're now associated with this failure, this desperate attack, this public meltdown. And reputation is currency they can't get back. Emotionally, they're trapped in obsession, still thinking about you, still analyzing what went wrong, still unable to let go while you've already moved on. Spiritually, morally, whatever you want to call it, they know what they did. They know it was wrong, and that knowledge lives in them now forever, eating at them from the inside. The beautiful irony. The poetic justice that makes this whole thing feel scripted by karma itself is that they created exactly what they feared. They were afraid of you speaking your truth. So they attacked you, which made your truth more credible and more important. They were afraid of you gaining support. So they isolated you, which made people sympathetic to you. They were afraid of you moving on, so they kept coming after you, which proved you were a threat and made you stronger. They were afraid of looking weak, so they brought overwhelming force, which made them look terrified. Everything they did to stop you accelerated exactly what they were trying to prevent, like trying to put out a fire with gasoline, like trying to bury a seed that was designed to grow through concrete. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Forgiveness. People are going to tell you that you need to forgive them, that holding on to this will hurt you, that you need to let it go for your own peace. And maybe that's true. Maybe forgiveness is part of your journey. But let's be clear about what forgiveness doesn't mean. Forgiveness doesn't mean pretending it didn't happen. Forgiveness doesn't mean giving them access to you again. Forgiveness doesn't mean making yourself small so they feel comfortable. Forgiveness doesn't mean carrying their guilt for them. Forgiveness, real forgiveness, means you release the expectation that they'll ever understand what they did. You stop waiting for an apology that won't come. You free yourself from the need for them to acknowledge your pain. But you don't have to forgive them for their sake, only for yours. And only when you're ready, and only on your terms. They're in a special kind of hell now. The kind that looks normal from the outside, but feels like torture from the inside. They wake up and check to see what you're doing, if you've mentioned them, if you're still affected by them. They scroll through your posts looking for evidence that they hurt you, needing confirmation that they still